Good morning, everybody. Happy hump day. We're dead smack in the middle of the week. So today we are going to talk about finding your grit, never quit. So, as we go through life, we get tired or we get discouraged, right? So today we're going to talk about how to find your inner grit. So, good morning, Claire. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Good morning, Tara. Hello, everybody. Good morning, Carol. All right. Good morning. So, hi, Crystal. Hello. Good morning, Joe. I hope you found some air conditioning. Hi, Judy. Good morning, everybody. So, grab your cup, grab a sip, and then we're going to start talking here. All right. So, good morning, Brownie. Nice to see you. So, we're going to good morning, Heather. Everybody's piling in. I love it. And there's Pumpkin. Hello. Good morning, Stephen. Nice to see you. Good morning, Janita. Hello, everybody. Hi, Heather. Good morning. All right, Connie. Hello there. So let us talk about finding your grit, okay? Like I said, after we kind of go through some stuff, you may find yourself really tired. You may find yourself fatigued, finding yourself discouraged, wanting to throw in the towel, especially when you are not getting a response or a reward or finding some sort of success on the path, where you're going. You're finding some sort of roadblocks. And it's hard to kind of keep up and get going and to be positive when you keep hitting these roadblocks. But the blocks are there because they're here to teach us, right? So many times people say, oh, the blocks are there to show you you're on the wrong path. Not necessarily. Sometimes those blocks are there so that you can overcome that obstacle, so then you're then able to help others with that specific issue, right? Because you've experienced it, you've endured it, you've overcome it, so you can empathize and relate. So it could be part of that. It could be part of some lessons that you're here to learn, but it doesn't always mean that you're on the wrong path. What happens is you have to start trusting your path, right? If you believe in it and you're passionate about it and you understand that this is something you want, when the times get tough and you want to quit, you got to find your grit. You got to dig deep, find that core, get in there and find that strength that says, I can. Even if everyone around you is saying you can't. And that's the tough part. You're going to find people that say to you, oh, maybe you should think about something else, Maybe you should give up music. Maybe you should consider something more stable than art, right? Good morning, Tony. Nice to see you. And so when we sit there and say, you know what? No matter what, I'm not giving up on this. I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You may have to look at it and tweak it. Sometimes it's looking at how you're doing something and understanding that, you're forcing it in a certain way that needs to be adjusted. That's okay. We can tweak it. We can mold it. But what we got to do is never quit. It's about finding the grit, finding that essence within that tells you that you are meant to do it, that you want to do it. It's not always a slam dunk. And again, I believe that sometimes people get discouraged or they misinterpret what's happening. They're looking at it as a sign of not supposed to. And that's just, it's not the course. Like, maybe you're having resistance with something because you're supposed to go in a different direction. Good morning, Devin. Like just finding a bit of a different route. Maybe that's a different job or a different teacher or a different modality of how you're working. But if you believe that you can be successful in something, you absolutely can. You just have to look at what part of it isn't working or why isn't it working. Be a little logical about it. Even you light workers out there, when you're actually remove yourself a little bit to say, okay, if I'm looking at it from a business standpoint, where am I lacking in the business? Or am I not believing in myself enough? Am I self-sabotaging? Am I listening to too many people around me? It's so true, Joe. That's right. Pain is temporary. Quitting is forever. But that's the idea is, when we are hitting those roadblocks, when we are hitting those walls, when you're not sure of that next step, when you are feeling frustrated, right? Even if it's in a relationship, you may feel frustrated in a relationship. You may feel frustrated in your living situation, right? I want something more. I want it more. I'm not supposed to be here, or whatever it is. Remember to find your grit, never quit. And when you do, you're going to start relying on yourself a lot more. You're going to start to realize that you actually don't let yourself down, right? You really don't. You show up for yourself. And when you show up for yourself, you will make progress. Each and every time you show up, each and every time you say yes, each and every time you work through your fear, each and every time you keep your word, all of those are building blocks to your success. All of that will help you move forward. And it is that grit deep inside. It is that grit, that fighter, that person inside that says, no matter who around me is talking smack, or who around me wants to see me fail, or who around me needs me to fulfill a certain role in their life, right? I'm telling you, I love bosses. They're the best example ever. They need to keep you in a certain mold, right? Very few bosses truly want to see you flourish and succeed and find your independence and they don't, because they need you to do a job. That's what they need. So it's up to us to find our voice, up to us to find our freedom, up to us to find our passion. And when we do, you hold on to it. You get gritty about that. You sink your teeth into it and you give it everything you got. You bite down hard. Even when someone tries to take that bone from you, you go, no. Now, it is learning. So here's the balance of surrendering to spirit when they're guiding you. If you know you're being guided or tweaking it in that way, trust that. You got to go with it. But this is about when the ego steps in, right? When your self-doubt steps in, when the egos of others step in, as they will, we have this group, we have this, and we have these needs and wants from those around us. They serve a need or a want, right? They fulfill a purpose. But sometimes as you're starting to rise, sometimes as your vibration rises, as you become more confident, or as you're moving into another vibrational level, sometimes the people around that won't be happy. Sometimes the people around that will want to keep you at the level that you were, because that's where they need you. That's where they feel comfortable. But this is where you got to go, nope, I'm going to sit there and rise. I'm going to keep rising. I'm going to sit there and listen. I'm going to get gritty and not get in my way. Yeah, Judy, it happens. And so when it happens, when you're in a situation where any relationship, regardless of that relationship, if you feel that vibrationally, it's not feeling good, you don't feel free, you have to look at that. Really, I believe that we are meant to be free here. Yes, we're meant to love one another and be supportive of one another, but we're also meant to be free, not trapped by our fear, not trapped by the beliefs of others or what we've been raised on, or what we created for ourselves. So remember, when you are nervous, when you are feeling you can't go another day, when you are feeling you cannot see how this is going to work, you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, stop focusing on the end of the tunnel. Just focus on the next foot you got to dig for yourself. Get gritty, grab that shovel and start digging. Stop complaining. Complaining doesn't help you. Complaining lowers vibration. Get it out of your system. Sit there and do something productive, okay? Instead of complaining, every time you want to complain about something, stop yourself, Do it with a proactive action. Something that moves you forward. Every time you do that, you will A, complain less, B, move forward. How perfect. How perfect. This way you don't listen to yourself nagging at yourself, because we'll do that. How many times do you sit there and bah, 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 bah in your own ear? You don't need to do that. You got enough people doing it around for you. We don't need to do it to ourselves. So every time that comes in, what I want you to do, good morning, Tina and Drew. What I want you to do is sit there, instead of doing that, instead of feeding it, get gritty, grab your shovel and do a proactive action forward. Even if it's something small, every small step counts. Every small step will dig you out of the hole that you're in. Every single one, okay? Every single one. And if you got a shovel and you're digging, you're going to get out of there a lot quicker than if you're sitting in the hole complaining. So remember, all right, here we go. Don't quit, find your grit, all right? So that's what we're going to do. That's what I want you to work on. Tomorrow night, I have Celeste Elliott. She's a reverend and a Lilydale licensed registered medium. Going to be really, really fun. We're going to talk about spiritualism. We're going to talk about Lilydale. We're going to talk about how Lilydale has this fundamental belief system, but they certainly embrace mediums worldwide. And it's going to be a fascinating talk. As you know, I've been there the last 2 or 3 years teaching. I believe I'm going back this year. But it's always phenomenal and fun. So this is going to be a fantastic talk, and it's going to be really, really exciting. So I want to thank you all for sharing. I do see the shares. I saw a lot of you subscribe to the YouTube channel, so please, I appreciate that. You can binge watch. That's perfect. But least of not all right, when it's tough, when you just don't know if you got it in you, trust that you do. Know that you do. Find your grit. Never quit. All right, everybody, remember to shine your light and shine it bright. Have a fabulous day. Good morning, Janie. Good morning, Janita. And have a fabulous day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.